The coronavirus, creeping onto the world scene only a few short months ago, and then exploding into our day-to-day lives. Welcome to episode 20 in our series, Around the World with COVID-19 from a Blindness Perspective. In this episode, we have a follow-up report from Nick D'Ambrosio of Montreal, Canada. Nick previously reported of his experience with the COVID-19 virus in Montreal. This episode is Nick D'Ambrosio. Nick hails from the city of Montreal in the province of Quebec in the eastern part of Canada. Nick has been an essential worker working at a drugstore in downtown Montreal since the pandemic began. And as such, in this episode, we hear from Nick with some ideas and philosophies on how he is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic at this stage in time, October of 2020.
You can join me in a little peace and tranquility in front of the campfire.
We hope you appreciate this follow-up and that Nick's words will be of some motivation to take on a new outlook with the coronavirus and the COVID-19 pandemic. Please welcome our guest, Nick D'Ambrosio.
Hi, my name is Nick D'Ambrosio and I'm from Montreal, Canada. I'm here in Orford, Quebec on a little vacation out in the woods with a raging campfire right in front of me. I hope that all of you can join me in a little peace and tranquility in front of the campfire through these difficult times, which is COVID-19. A few years back when I was trying to deal with all of the blindness, I put a lot of things aside. Going tandem biking, going camping, going for a climb up a mountain, hiking, going to the botanical gardens and just enjoying the little things that each of our cities have to offer. Because I made excuses. Some of it was because of my blindness. Some of it was because I was too tired or just didn't feel up for it, didn't feel up for the adventure, the task, or dealing with the fact that I was visually impaired and maybe that I wouldn't have really enjoyed these activities being blind. And then all of a sudden COVID-19 came and new stresses and new problems started to arrive. Wearing masks, Purelling, social distancing. These were all added stresses to what was already a stressful life, being visually impaired and blind. But as the COVID started to get stronger and things became even more difficult, I felt the courage to start to do the things that I wanted to do finally. And it was kind of a weird time to start doing them, but I did. I started to tandem bike, went on a nature journey up Mount Royal, went to the botanical gardens, like I just said. And now, here I am in Orford, Quebec, camping in front of a fire. The message about all of this is that there are lots of difficulties right now. We all know what they are. I don't need to get into heavy details on how difficult it is to get around. But it is important to stay the course and to keep moving forward. The COVID's not going to go away soon. It may, but likelihood maybe not. You're going to have to ask yourself one question: do you want to stop living? My answer was no. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this podcast about COVID-19, because I don't want to stop living. And for me, it's been kind of a weird journey through this COVID-19. I can clearly state that it's probably been the best summer I've ever had in my entire life. It's funny saying that because of all of the headaches that, the added stresses that I have to deal with being visually impaired. But that does not necessarily mean that you have to stop enjoying life. We are capable, we are strong, we are resourceful, and we can do anything that we put our mind to. I've started to learn that recently, maybe a little late, but recently. I've done all the things that, just checking off my bucket list one by one and just doing them and without question. Of course, being safe, we can't get away from COVID-19. COVID-19 is here. You still got to be diligent and do it with, maybe some sighted help with organizations. Seek and you shall find the right people and the right organizations to do things with. And I did that. It's about mindfulness, keeping the stresses to the side for a little while. Doesn't mean they're going to go away, but at least you can escape. We can all do that with so many different things, hobbies that we've been putting on the wayside for many years because, you know what, we don't have the time, I'm too busy, I'm stressed, and I got to deal with social distancing, and I got to deal with this, and how am I going to get to the bank? It's about networking. It's about finding the right people and the right organizations, and they're all around us. The excuses that the blind community sometimes uses is invalid and wrong, because it's up to each and every one of us to find the strength inside of us to do it. It's been a wonderful journey, and I've had a great summer, but it comes with, some problems. A lot of us are dealing with different types of stresses and anxieties that maybe some of us can handle better than others, and I understand that. But it's about taking baby steps. It's about putting yourself in situations that you can handle in increments, in little steps, whether it be walking to the corner store or going to the park or going to, maybe a museum. Things are open. Things are out there. You just need to take the correct precautions and be supported by the organization or the people that you're with to understand you, to be one with you. The bottom line is that I think everyone should continue their lives as much as they can, because I'd hate to see a lot of people waste away through these difficult times. There are many hobbies that we may put aside, that we may not want to do, but now's the time. In my experiences now that I've been going out through the COVID-19 times, I've noticed that it's difficult but slightly easier. I find that even going to a restaurant at times is not so bad because there's less people. There's less people in the parks, less people in museums, for an example, or a movie theater. Now, again, there's heavy risks, and I urge everyone, if you have any type of condition, maybe it's not the perfect time to go, but if you're in good health, I don't think you should stop living. And if you do have some underlying issues, you can find great activities at home, sewing, cooking, picking up an instrument. There are so many things that you can occupy your time and get away from the noise that is COVID-19. I just want to tell everybody that, eventually we will get through this. Things will get better. But in the meantime, you need to take onus on your own lives and make sure that you do what's in your heart and what you want to do. I've taken that step, and it's been great. There are other things that I'm thinking of doing, like I mentioned before, maybe go to a museum, go to the local biodome, even indoor climbing and things of that nature that I've always wanted to do, but I've always had excuses for. That's not to say that with being blind, it's not going to be easy, but nothing in life is easy. Nothing in life is handed to you on a silver platter. If you want something, you got to go get it. You got to be prepared, be diligent, and not be stupid, but it's out there if you want it. I know sometimes, I'm already hearing the people listening to this, well, Nick, it's easier said than done, and I get that a lot. Well, if you want to make excuses every time for not doing something like I did for, practically my whole life, I made excuses of not using a cane, not doing things because I was scared of what people thought of me or how people would react. It's not valid. It's something that you need to put aside because it's your life and you only have one of them. So it's really your choice. I really hope that, this COVID goes away and I can resume a little bit of normalcy in my life. But in the meantime, I still feel that COVID was a blessing, and it's kind of weird to say that it has been a blessing, but it has, because it's actually made me stronger. So I just want to end with just letting everybody know that this campfire here is raging on, and I am hotter than you can imagine. We're going to get some s'mores out, marshmallows, and enjoy this for what it's worth. Sometimes I think the smaller moments in your life are the ones that you cherish the most. the ones that you just get away from everything and there's a clarity in your mind that happens when you're passionate about something. You need to find that passion. You need to find that love to keep going forward and moving forward to whatever goals that are in your heart. Sometimes some goals are not as high as others, but it doesn't really matter as long as you are fulfilled inside, and no one cares. In reality, no one really cares. It's what you want and what you feel inside that's the most important. So everybody, stay safe, be diligent, don't be a fool, and remember, life is your oyster. So get out there and do the things that you need to do to make your life happier, and give yourself some time, give yourself some patience, love yourself. Just take that moment to reflect, because your mind is important, and having your mental health is just the most important part, because with strong mental health, you can tackle everything. So make sure that your mind is at ease and that you're ready for all of this stuff. If you do want to tackle it, if you feel it in your heart, be confident and go forward. I'll let you go with a little bit of sounds of the nature that I'm in right now, the campfire and the crickets going. So everybody, take care, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, who's that? Nick? Nick D'Ambrosio, is that you? Whoa! Imagine running into you out here in the middle of nowhere, buddy. Pete here. Yeah, it's Pete. Good to see you, Nicky. Hey, what you got there? Some s'mores? Some marshmallows? Hey, I brought some hot dogs. Let me get them out of this package. Let me throw them on the whoa, a little fatty there. They got some little fat, but whoa, no. So we got a flare up here, buddy. Oh no. Let me get this bucket of water. Yeah, let me adjust this. Oh, man. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, boy, that's a close one. All right. So, Nick, how's it going, bud? Hey, long time no see. You doing okay? Really good to see you up here in the great wilderness. We'd like to thank Nick for coming back to Blind Abilities and sharing his follow-up report on how he is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Be sure to listen for more episodes in our series, Around the World with COVID-19 from a Blindness Perspective. And from all of us here at Blind Abilities, through these challenging times, to you, your family, and friends, stay well, stay informed, and stay strong. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations and the realities
of blind abilities. The realities of blind abilities.
For more podcasts with a Blindness Perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, Blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.